Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Triple Heat. I haven't announced it before. But I am going to stream it as a spectator. I will also do the broadcast, but this has not been rehearsed or whatever. Okay, this was not planned as I don't feel like racing today, especially competitive, after last night's session that we had in OSCR. But yeah, let's see. We have a new face in form of Shauku, whoever that is. Let's see. Where is his car? Oompa losing it immediately. Shauku. Oh, it's this pink car. The Ferrari, I guess. Let's see who that is and how good he is. I guess he made a mistake there immediately. Lurku with a nice exit there, and Radi with a mistake. But this doesn't have to mean anything, so for now Lurku lost apparently the lead. I mean, not everyone started at the same time, so it's difficult to tell who is going to gain some and who is going to lose some. But Henrik there with the mistake definitely will suffer in his lap time. J-Benz looking good and looking strong so far, somewhere high up, I would say in the top 5 somewhere. If he doesn't make a mistake, as well as Dremet and Toppy and Kosandri. Kosandri being very strong lately in the Triple Heat sessions. Kosandri making all the progress. Henrik and Lurku losing even more now. Igiava, I guess he also had a bad couple of turns. J-Benz as well got caught there by the others. I'd say he had a very bad exit and penultimate corner. Kosandri, huge lead there in front of Toppy, Dremet and Hendrik. I guess we will see now. Kosandri, as I said, Hendrik, even with despite the mistake he made P2, Igiava very strong, Lepa, Toppy and then Dremet. Yeah, J-Benz not exactly that strong. Let's see. So Kosandri with a plus with a gap to Hendrik, about 0.2 seconds, and then followed by Oompa, the same gap between him and Hendrik, and then it continues down to Igiava and Lepa Texti, who had like a very small gap in between their times. And yeah, let's see. Or was it? What is a Lepa? let's see how this goes, the race. I feel like it will be Kossa's race if nothing else happens. Hendrik also always strong, as well as Jormeli and Umpa. You never know with those guys. Let's see the start. First turn. Oof, oof, some very, very nice attack there from Setamis. Kossa with a huge mistake, costing him the lead immediately. Attacked by Igiava, and Hendrik was also caught in the middle of that mistake of Kossandri. Umpa now has a nice gap towards Igiava. I guess Umpa will try to run away now, but Hendrik starting to attack Igiava there immediately. Further in the back we have Dremet, who is in P7 following Topi and Kossandri, and Leipa of course. Oh, Kossandri very optimistic there, diving in, hitting Hendrik. Leipa very fair, didn't push Kossandri out there, leaving enough space for them both. Enabling now Kossandri to actually attack him. Now Kossandri will have the better exit if Leipa isn't covering this well. But here I guess Kossandri lost out a little bit on the speed. Now Dremet and Jormeli are following closely, trying to get some of the slipstream, which will happen, especially now since the straight is pretty long and the slipstream effect is huge. Dremet on the inside attacking all of them. Ooh, slightly hitting their Kossandri. You can tell that these cars are not good when it comes down to close wheel battles. Like slightest push has a huge effect. But all in all, very fair. Dremet sorta gave the position away. Trying to stay fair here, as always, Dremet. Now he might have a chance to attack on the inside, but he has to cover from Leipa. Jormeli as well attacking Leipa, and Topi also trying to have a say in this one. Meanwhile, Igiava overtook Umpa over there. We have a lead change, so Umpa must have had a mistake. Now Umpa can probably come back, and yeah, Igiava, huge mistake there. Oh, trying to cover off the ideal line immediately. Now he has to fall back behind Hendrik, trying to get some of that sweet slipstream. Is there an attack coming from Igiava? Is it going to stick in P2? So far it's looking good for Igiava. Now don't miss the breaking point. And very nice. I guess this will... No, now he made a mistake in the SNS. He went too far off onto the curbs, which these cars do not like. If you end up riding the curbs, the cars unsettle too much, and unfortunately for Igiava, Hendrik makes this move stick now. Let's see if... And this is the beauty of this track. It enables you to attack immediately in the next corner. So let's see. Meanwhile in the back, Kossandri managed to create a gap there between himself and Jormeli and Dremet. Meanwhile Jormeli pressuring there Dremet. Let's see how this goes. Leipa takes the had to break the... Yeah, had to create a gap there between himself and Topi. And has to create a gap there to break the toe so that he can focus more what's going on in the front. And nobody so far is pitting. Let's see, is there any surprise undercut or whatever, but I guess this will be a one-stop if this is like 10 laps in the best case. And then, hey, Schenker is as well here. Also a new face to TSU. Maybe he has been playing it longer now, because this name kind of seems familiar. But yeah, let's see. It's nice to have new people in here. I hope they don't give up after race 1, because this can be intimidating, and when you see where the other cars are in terms of speed and, you know, but these are all the seasoned players, some of the very best and strong players in TSU. Don't let this fool you in thinking that this is easy, and it's quite difficult to follow these guys, as I said, like, these are seasoned players, have many races under their belt, and are actually very good in what they do. And this triple heat is also one of a kind event. I mean, not happening once, but like once every week, so that is why these guys have so much experience, as they have participated in at least more than 50 races, some of them even 100 races. Yeah, the experience is huge. And if this is your first race, then you can't expect to do good, except if you have a raw talent, I say. But yeah, it's still nice to see other drivers to try their luck. And as you can see, Toppy Toppy was probably in the pits. Yes, he was. I was wondering where he is. He is now in P12, so he pitted. I guess we will see a pit stop from the leaders as we are approaching the end of lap 5, and they will come into the pits right now. As I said, Henrik and Oompa and Igiava are fighting over there. Let's see how this goes. I hope they leave each other space. Oh, Igiava didn't... Oh my god, Igiava. Oh. Igiava made a mistake, underfueled, and now he has the perfect amount of fuel. But Oompa probably underfueled, I'm not sure. And because of this mistake from Igiava, Oompa was blocked and couldn't leave the pits, and Henrik now has a huge gap there towards Igiava. I don't think that these guys, except if Henrik does a mistake, they won't catch him. Now let's see in the back. J-Benz actually fell back down the order. Quite a lot, actually. I'm surprised. He is fighting now for P10, trying to get Lurku and Radi. Radi, I think, underfueled, if I'm not mistaken. He has to come in probably for one more pit stop. I'm not sure, but let's see. And then we have Leipa, Kosandri, Dremet, Toppy. Toppy definitely has to come in one more time to pit. Because this fuel amount won't last him to the end. So this is, at least for now, he's very strong and quick, but all this positions gained will mean nothing after his next pit stop. So yeah, I guess he gambled and he lost the gamble. Maybe he didn't know how many times to pit and couldn't calculate that quickly, but yeah, this is definitely a one-stop race. Dremet on the outside there, in turn 3 or 4, turn 4, I guess, which enables Jormili now to attack because of that mistake. I guess there is some sort of slowdown in the back. Oh, that small push there Dremet won't like, especially after last night's race in OSCR, where something similar happened, and that was NASCAR, and this is not. And but yeah, nevertheless, I guess there was no ill intention from Kosandari. It's just a mistake made by Kosandari, missing the break point there. Now he made another mistake in the penultimate corner, and he got gobbled up there by Topi and maybe also from Leipa. Let's see if Leipa can get some of the slipstream from Topi Tiki. But can he make it stick there? I guess Leipa too cautious, leaving too much space there for Cassandra, and Cassandra retaking that position back. Now this fight over here between Dremet and Jormeli is going to be spicy. Jormeli also very fair, not pushing Dremet towards the outside and closing the door erratically. But let's see here the fight between Umpa and Igiava. Umpa and Igiava. Very strong performance so far from Igiava and Umpa. Umpa is usually very strong in these sort of races, but lacks sometimes the optimal strategy. Igiava definitely someone that you have to take into account when racing these sort of events. Very strong performance from him. Meanwhile, while they were battling for P2, Henrik was sort of pushing more and more and created a 5.5 seconds gap towards Igiava. But let's see, Topi, is he coming into the pits? I guess he is not, and he will probably run out of fuel. I'm not sure what he was trying to achieve. All this fighting costs a lot of time, and his tires are not that well anymore. Let's hope for his sake that he makes it back to the pits, because this is not looking good for him. I think he definitely calculated it wrongly over here, and now he will lose even more time, because if the tires are dropping below 40%, these cars become very slidey, as you can see from Dremet, and his tire situation is way better than Topi Tiki's, but they are already starting to slide, as you can see from the smokes that come out of their tires. And I'm not sure, but Umpa also looks like as if he can barely make it towards the end. I haven't seen how much fuel you need per lap in order to make it, but this is not looking good for Umpa, and in my opinion. It will be very, very close for Umpa. He's dangerously close to running out of fuel. Let's see if Topi comes in. And Topi comes in. He made it, actually. Wow, okay. I actually was scared that he wouldn't make it, so let's see where he comes out. He needs only just a splash of fuel, so oh damn. J-Benz has had a bad race so far. I don't know what happened to him. Probably it's going to be... okay, he crossed the white line. If we raced like in F1 rules or in any sort of GT rules, I guess this would have been a penalty, but since there are none, so Topi is going to have his P10, but he didn't change the tires. He might be caught there by J-Benz, who has way better tires and tire life. Yeah, let's see what's going on in the front. Meanwhile, Igiava couldn't catch Umpa. Umpa created sort of a gap towards Igiava. Umpa also very low on fuel, but he managed to close the gap towards Hendrik, which was 5.5 seconds. Now it's 2.7. Either Hendrik had a mistake or Umpa was just too strong here. Now Igiava in P3. Jormeli, Dremet, Kosandri, Leipa Texti. And now a huge gap towards Radi. Radi also very strong P8. And then we have Lurku, and J-Benz caught Topi there, as I said it. Topi, very strange strategy. I guess he miscalculated. I guess Umpa is not happy about the situation that happened in the pit stop. Or during the pit stop. But yeah. Let's see. Do we have more cars that are still racing? Setamis. Ooh. Sorry for the cough. Setami is now completely out of fuel and out of tires. Got caught there by... this is very fair. Very fair from Schengar. And Xiaoku also. Nice to see him finish this one. Hats off to Toppy for daring to undercut a one-stopper. Ah, damn. Definitely a crazy tire battle. Was fun. Okay, on to the next one, Watkins Glen. This track needs definitely a rework. It's kind of empty and strange in my opinion. I need to rework this track. There is actually no buildings around. This track is on a sort of piece of land where nothing is around it. So yeah, this needs a rework. I feel like some of the things implemented on this track are not as good as they were back then when this track was created, and so it cries out for a change. But now let's go for the qualifying. This is going to be spicy. So now we have qualifying, and people will be and the drivers will be sort of reset. So as you can see, nobody starts at the same time. Almost no one starts at the same time, and so that's why you can't exactly tell who is going to improve and who's not. But Igiava here definitely trying something special. Wanted probably to get away from that blob, because the transparent cars can be irritating at some times, and you can't see your driving line and your own car as well, and then it's sort of difficult to figure out where to go and what to do. But yeah, this track, especially here, this bus stop needs a rehaul, and I need to figure out something else over there. That cutting is very strange. Yeah, some people were caught there, especially those guys that do not know where to go and what to do. They had to reset the car. They missed the checkpoint. So you have to go around, guys. I'm very sorry. But yeah, this track will definitely become my next track that I will rework. So yeah, let's see what's going on in the front. Let's see who ends up being first. I think from the looks of it, Oompa seems to be very strong. Some people didn't get the last turn there, like Hosandari made a mistake, but yeah, Henrik, Leipa, Texti, Dremet, the usual suspects, and Igiava with a huge lap there. Damn, Igiava, very nice job over there. By 0.06 seconds, 600ths of a second. Very small margin, and then Henrik as well, very small margin towards Oompa, and then we have slightly bigger gaps towards Leipa, Texti and Remet, and of course Kosandari. And only a second later we have Aradi, J-Benz and Toppy within a second or to Kosandari, and then Jormeli, Lurko, Schengar and the others who made a mistake there by either missing the checkpoint or having a going off the track somewhere. But yeah, now the race. Okay, let's see. Igiava on pole, Umpa and Hendrik, Leipa, Dremet, Kossa. These first 6 cars, very strong. Somewhat identical performance. Small pushes here and there, some very optimistic move there from the new guys. Umpa, I guess he didn't get the proper exit there out of turn 2 and 3. Kosandri attacking already Dremet. I hope he didn't get a slowdown, or in this case, Kosandri running off, running wide. Some cars needed to reset, like Umpa. Umpa had to come back there. I guess this needs to be fixed. This needs to be a slowdown and not a checkpoint issue. Yeah, I'm feeling very sorry there for Umpa. Kosandri pushing Dremet slightly over there. Radi with a very strong first lap, already in P4, P3 actually, sorry. Now Kosandri made the move stick there on Dremet, and Topi already attacking Dremet over there. Let's see what's going on in the front. The leading positions. It's, oh well, Hendrik had probably the same mistake as Umpa and missed the checkpoint. Yeah, this track definitely needs a rehaul. I'm so sorry for this, actually. Now we see Umpa and Hendrik, as well as Setamis, then Shengar, no, who is this? Lurku, and Lurku is probably going to be offline now. But yeah, move on towards the front. Igiava, Leipa, Kosandri, Dremet. These guys are the ones to follow. J-Benz also now more competitive, being there in the mix, seeing all the cars up until P3 almost. Let's say, but this is a fight for P4. This is a gaggle of cars, and J-Benz is trying to get as far up as possible. Now we have only 9 laps for this race, and from the looks of it, it seems that this is also going to be a one-stop race, since the fuel might last until the end of lap 5, and this will be important because also the tires will have a similar percentage, or tire life will be equal to fuel almost, which means that the cars will get very slidey and very tricky to handle, especially throughout the bus stop chicane, which is dangerous for many players. As for Umpa, it's the second reset. This is very, very dangerous there. I guess they have to learn that there is that shortcut penalty in terms of, I mean, not a shortcut penalty, but a reset penalty if they make a mistake. Yeah, this track needs a change, as I stated many times before now. Now Igiava, I don't know what happened to him. I kind of missed that, but he seems to be slow now and got caught there by Leipa. Let's see what they're going to do. Igiava trying to defend now from 2 cars and probably has to give way to at least one of them, which is Kosandri. And now Igiava will have a better exit than Kosandri, but Kosandri can probably use this long ass straight for his advantage. But yeah, Kosandri knows better and kind of pulls back from the attack and lets Igiava go through the bus stop without any shenanigans, so that he can eventually stay close and hopefully be there when time comes to attack Igiava. Maybe Igiava makes a mistake by himself while being pressured by Kosandri and the pack of cars behind him, because a slight mistake might be costly over here. He might not only lose one position but more positions, like might end up being somewhere around P4 where Dremet and Leipa are. Currently Dremet and Leipa fighting there for that position. Meanwhile, losing time, losing out on Cassandri and Igiava. I don't know if they are going into the pits. Dremet and Leipa going for the pit stop, trying to undercut Igiava and Cassandri. I'm not sure if... I mean, if you revert the situation... I'm not sure if this amount of fuel will last for Dremet. Leipa took a little bit more cautious there. Player M now being in the middle of those guys. I'm not sure actually if this is going to last for Player M, but let's see what's going on in the front. The cars are very tricky to drive right now. It's very slippery and slidey. I think that Igiava and Cassandri might lose out to Dremet and Leipa, but at least towards the end, Cassandri and Igiava will have the better tires, will have the tire advantage, so they might lose out now, but they won't be losing out later. And then meanwhile, Player M with a mistake there in that turn, definitely suffering from the performance of the tires, sliding too much. Dremet and Leipa, they can't afford to lose time now, especially Dremet. I am not sure if this amount of fuel will last towards the end for Dremet. Let's see, J-Benz, Toppy, Igiava and Cassandri, all of them which skipped the previous lap are coming in now. Dremet and Leipa are going to undercut, as well as Jormeli and Hendrik. Going to undercut all of these guys that are in the pits. But towards the end it might be very, very tricky. Toppy with a mistake on the pit exit. Radi, I'm not sure what happened to Radi. What happened to Radi? Why did he lose so much time over there? Because he was in the mix with Leipa and Dremet. Now let's see what Cassandri, Jormeli, Igiava and Hendrik are going to do. Hendrik, by the way, very strong recovery from him. Being dead last, almost, second to last. Came back now to fight Igiava, Jormeli, Cassandri. And meanwhile, this is not going to help out Dremet and Leipa. If they are battling each other, then Cassandri, Jormeli and Igiava will have the advantage and will get them towards the end. Let's see what's going on and what will happen. So far, 4 laps down, Lurko, he probably gave up there due to some issues either in the race or just his performance. Let's see. And then Dremet had to yield there for Leipa, and Leipa now has a huge gap there towards Dremet. Meanwhile, Igiava, Jormeli, Cassandri and Hendrik are still around and trying to sort of get close to the leaders, to the first two. J-Benz had to have a problem somewhere, probably around the track, and that explains the huge gap towards Hendrik. Not sure what happened, but J-Benz tonight is underperforming. Not his best 2 races so far. But here this group is very strong, is very, very intense. It could be anyone's race from these 4 guys, because Leipa, Texti and Dremet, yeah, this is a, yeah, okay, this is a definitely, yeah, they have to come in, as well as Jormeli maybe in the next lap. I'm not sure about Hendrik though. I mean, not sure about Hendrik, Igiava and Cassandri. Oh, Cassandri has to come in the pits, into the pits as well as Jormeli. I'm not sure if Igiava is going to risk it, as well as Hendrik, to risk it and then go 1 more lap. I'm not sure if that will happen. Igiava has 33% of fuel, 64% of tires. I'd say if he has around 20% of fuel left towards the end, I think he might actually be able to do it, to pull it off. as well as Hendrik, but he probably will have more than enough to go one more lap. And Kosandari, I'm not sure about him though. Let me see quickly. Kosandari, 18% of fuel. I don't think Kosandari can continue like this. Okay, final lap for these guys. Hendrik, very strong performance, I have to say. He came back sort of from the dead, rising up like the phoenix from the ashes. Very strong recovery from Hendrik, if you ask me. Yeah. Let's see. Don't make a mistake right now. Don't cut the track. Don't reset. This is very, very strong. Oompa as well, P6. Also nice recovery so far. Oh, Kosandari with a mistake. Now the opportunity for Igiava to take P1. Let's see if he can... this is not smart because you lose a lot of speed over here. Maybe Igiava can have him in the next couple of turns. Not in this one, but in the next couple of turns, because his car looks better. Oh, push from Igiava. Kosandari might even lose out to Hendrik. But this was slightly dirty there from Igiava. Now Kosandari loses his focus, might even lose out to Hendrik. Yeah, Kosandari loses out also due to fuel. Oh, and J-Benz. Okay, very strong from J-Benz. Very fair from J-Benz. He pushed Jormeli into the finish because he deserved that P4, and very, very, very nice from J-Benz to do that. Now Lurku, whatever happened to him, I'm not sure, but he crossed the finish line to end this race quicker. Otherwise it would have been lasting forever until the time ticks off. But yeah, Player M made it to the end. Let's go and see, where is Setamis and Shengar and Shauku? They are approaching slightly. I'm not... Oh, Setamis hit the pole over there, the bollard, which is a solid one. I guess I have to change that. I have to remove those stupid sticks from the game, and I have to make... Ooh, and Shauku experiencing now the tire degradation. Let's hope Shengar can make it towards the end, since his fuel isn't looking good and his tires are pretty much gone, as well as Shauku's. Yeah, Shauku hitting the wall. I mean, you have to give it to him there. He probably racing the first time here around this triple heat. So yeah, what a race, exactly, McVision. Very strong performance from those guys, very strong performance. I need to create... yeah. But yeah, who is missing? Who do we miss here? Lurku has to finish the lap, okay. Lurku has to finish the lap. Let's watch him. Go on, Lurku. Either Lurku had some other things to do, or just had a bad race and had to let some steam off, but that would be so anti-Lurku. Hello Nestori, nice to see you around. After this triple heat, I'm going to end the stream, since my plan was just to stream the triple heat, and we will have the Nordschleife presented to us by Dremet. He will host that event. Let's see how it goes. Everyone feel welcome to, you're welcome to join the party, to have a proper shakedown on the Nordschleife.zip, as Dremet named the track, because it's a compressed version of the Nordschleife, since this game, TSU, Turbo Sliders Unlimited, is not able to handle that huge track. So he had to make compromises, but he created what is, in my opinion, one of the better versions of the Nordschleife, since the track is pretty much raw, and from the looks of it, very nice. But yeah, we will see afterwards. So let's see how this goes. As I said, not everyone starts at the same time, but from the looks of it, Kosandri, Dremet, J-Benz and Igiava looking strong so far. Let's see how the other guys do. Okay, Hendrik Leipa started a little bit further in the back. McVision, I don't see him here, but he probably, he started a bit later, so that he has some clean air in front of him. I mean, there is no draft and there is no contact between the cars. These cars are ghosted in this session. For this session, this is the qualifying session, and the cars are ghosted, so you won't hear a sound or you don't see any contact, except if they made contact themselves with the wall or with some other objects on the track. Strong performance from J-Benz so far. J-Benz looking very, very strong, very much competitive. And Dremet and Oompa, huge crash, as well as, who's that, Player M, probably. Let's see how it goes. McVision looking strong as well. You can't ever not count McVision in. Let's see how this goes. Oh, Jormeli with a huge mistake over there. Kosandri, Hendrik, Leipa, J-Benz, as I said, and McVision and P3 so far. Let's see, but I don't think that the other guys, with respect, they are not going to endanger the top 3, top 4, top 5 even. Yeah, so far looking good, except Igiava. Okay, I haven't seen Igiava in the bottom, or at the bottom there on the list. Yeah, Igiava is very strong. Igiava is on fire tonight. He is very, very strong. Let's see how this goes now. Okay, here comes the race. So the start, Hendrik, Igiava, Kosandri, McVision, Leipa, J-Benz, Oompa. Very strong first couple of cars. Let's see how this goes. I hope without... Ooh, Dremet immediately with some battles going on over there. Let's look at the back for now to see how this goes. And then there is the reset. Frozeny connected as well. This is going to be very fun, very much fun. So far, Henrik able to run away there from Kosandri and Igiava. Igiava must have had a mistake there. Kosandri passed him. Now Igiava almost being attacked by McVision. McVision, as I said before, always strong performances from him. He overtakes, of course, Igiava because of the mistake from Igiava there in the chicane. J-Benz looking strong now for this race, at least. I hope I don't jinx it. Further back, Leipa lost a lot of positions. Oompa pushes Jormeli there slightly, and Dremet has to now fight against Toppy and Player M. meanwhile being chased by Lepa Texti. We have 9 laps so far, and I think this is going to be also a one-stop, a very strong race as well, due to the field being so tight to each other. Now Dremet attacking player M. Meanwhile, Radi makes a move on Lurku, or tries to at least. Let's see, anyone with a mistake over here. Igiava running wide again, as well as J-Benz and Lurku running wide. J-Benz now under attack from Igiava. Meanwhile has to fend off Radi as well. Radi very optimistic, pushes J-Benz there. I don't know, that move was never going to work, if you ask me. J-Benz, I hope he doesn't lose too much time fending off the cars behind. Dremet now very close to these guys and is able to probably get past them easily. Not that these guys are easy to pass, but Dremet had a strong performance so far, coming back from almost last place. But yeah, J-Benz managed to separate himself from Radi and Lurku, and meanwhile McVison must have had a mistake there, or Igiava was just strong for McVison. But yeah, McVison stays close to Igiava's back there, tries to apply some pressure to Igiava, hoping that he makes a mistake, as we have seen here. Igiava has to defend, takes probably the slightly worse line. McVison trying to optimize his line on the other hand. But yeah, the race is still long and has some potential for those guys in the front. Meanwhile, here in the back, Oompa and Lepa still stuck behind player M and Toppy. Or is that player M? No, that's Yuki actually. Sorry, I've mistaken him the whole time for player M, but this is Yuki. Yuki also very strong. Let's see how this goes. Is it going to be... Yeah, okay. Oompa, slight mistake there, as well as Toppy and Lepa. Lepa pushing Toppy there slightly, which led Toppy to break there a little bit more than he wanted. So we enter lap 5. Kossander is still behind Hendrik. Hendrik trying to fend off Kossander there, succeeding so far, as well as Igiava fending off McVison. But again, around this track and around these corners, 4 laps still to go. It's quite a race distance without making it without any mistake, especially around here. The upcoming chicane is going to be very tricky. You can gain and you can lose quite a lot of time there if you don't make it right, as we have seen Kossanderi making a mistake, enabling Henrik to run away a little bit further from him. Meanwhile, in the back, I can see Oompa with another mistake in the chicane, attacked by Yuki, as well as Lepa went through Toppy, or went past Toppy. Kossanderi now has to make up that mistake there and has to close the gap after the next lap. Well, actually, this is a no-stop race. Damn, I thought this was a one-stop, but this is a no-stop race so far. This is quite extreme. I have never seen a race where there was no pit stop, I think. I'm not sure, like, I can't remember, like, or maybe maybe there was, but it was very tricky or something like that. I don't know, like, but this is like, the tire life looks good, the fuel amount looks very good, so yeah, they don't have to consider stopping at all. Stopping would be definitely the worst mistake that you can do in this sort of race. But yeah, Hendrik, very strong performance so far. I don't think without any mistakes, I don't think Kosandri is able to catch Henrik. Kosandri maybe has to be careful because Igiava looks very strong so far. He is almost so close that he will get some slipstream from Kosandri, maybe over here already. Slight slipstream over here, and if Kosandri makes another mistake like before in the previous lap, Igiava will catch him, and he did a mistake there. Very strong from Igiava, very strong, very nice overtake. Damn, that looked smooth. Kosandri trying to kind of come back, but I guess Kosandri needs to focus and has to keep calm, has to force Igiava into a mistake, but now maybe, yeah, okay. I think McVision now will be the laughing third one, who maybe passes them both if they are not careful. Also McVision very, very strong, came back from whatever mistake he had. And now Kosandri looks like the bigger loser over here overall, because he was fighting Hendrik until that one mistake there in the chicane where he had to close the gap and then made another mistake in this chicane, and enabling Igiava to attack him. Now Igiava can't afford to have any sort of mistakes, as this is going to go into the last lap. Hendrik has a comfortable lead there over 3.5 seconds. Let's see, McVision and Igiava, how this was going to pan out. I don't think... Let's quickly look at the back over here. Is there any sort of fight? J-Benz. Oh, J-Benz actually had been attacked by Drymet, and Drymet passed J-Benz, as well as Radi against Oompa. Leipa Texti can't follow them. But yeah, let's look ahead of this race, of this battle, and let's see what's going up here with Igiava and McVision. This is going to be nerve-wracking for them both, and McVision had the better exit. Igiava has to cover it on the inside, trying to squeeze McVision into a mistake, and McVision passes Igiava. Very nice and strong move there from McVision, confirming P2, I guess, without any sort of mistake. Oh, maybe the spec marker can play a role here, but nope. Very strong performance. Let's see what's going on in the back. Dramet and J-Benz, this is a done deal, but Oompa and Radi, yeah, okay. Yeah, very strong from Radi as well to cover off Oompa. Yuki, I don't know what happened to Yuki, but it must have been some driving error. But yeah, as you can see, guys, we are going to go into the Nordschleife event. I am switching servers. Congrats to everyone. And now let's see if we can enter. So yeah, thanks guys for watching the triple heat with me. Very strong performances from everyone. I guess this was quite fun to watch as well. I definitely need to come back to the triple heat again. And yeah, I'm looking forward for the next triple heat, I guess. So thanks guys for watching. Have a good night. Have a nice weekend. Stay safe and see you in the next one. Bye bye. Oh damn, I think I was muted there for some reason. I'm not sure if I was muted the whole time. I hope I was not. Otherwise, I was talking for myself the whole time. Yeah, thanks guys for watching. Stay safe, have a good one. Now we are going to test the Nordschleife event. Take care, see you in the next one. Bye bye.